Salam Malaysia Madani, this is Biz ASEAN and I'm your host Daryl Baptist. Every Thursday we bring you Biz ASEAN, a program where we unpack the key issues shaping our regional economy in conjunction with Malaysia's ASEAN chairmanship this year. ASEAN has always been driven by people, trade and commerce, but today it's intelligence. Artificial intelligence, that's becoming the new engine of growth. From the way we work to the way we learn, travel and even make decisions. AI is no longer a concept of tomorrow. It now shapes the everyday lives of Malaysians and our fellow ASEAN neighbours alike. Across governments, businesses and homes, it's opening up opportunities, speeding up solutions and yes, raising some big questions too. What is ASEAN going to look like as we step into the AI-powered future? All this and more coming right up on Biz ASEAN. Our focus today is one that everyone's talking about, AI and the ASEAN future. Now, we will be speaking with a special guest to further explore this topic. But first, let's begin with some of the latest news updates. Now, we have a story by CIMB Group Holdings Berhad, who has become the first bank in the country to publish a nature and biodiversity report titled Banking on Nature, Advancing Our Nature Journey. The report underscores the group's strong commitment to sustainable finance and environmental risk management. Chief Executive Officer CIMB Group, Novan Amiruddin, said the bank is well positioned to drive biodiversity-friendly financing that can help protect livelihoods, enhance food and water security, and accelerate ASEAN's transition towards a low-carbon economy. Meanwhile, Luan Sieh, Group Chief Sustainability Officer, emphasized that biodiversity loss has now become a material financial risk. She explained that the report helps clients identify early exposure while also opening up new opportunities. These include sustainable land use financing, mangrove restoration, regenerative agriculture, sustainable forestry, and watershed protection, all of which have the potential to generate high-value carbon credits. Group Chief Executive Officer of Pemodalan Nasional Berhad, or PNB, Dato' Abdul Rahman Ahmad, welcomed the report, describing it as a positive step towards strengthening long-term investment resilience. And now moving on to Market Watch. Most ASEAN stock markets opened mixed today, with Bursa Malaysia slipping after 3 straight days of gains as investors stayed cautious ahead of the release of the United States August Consumer Price Index data later in the day. For the ASEAN stock market analysis, let's turn to Muhammad Shakil Haziq Muhammad Zubil, a remiser from the Malaysian Bumiputra Remiser Association, also known as Pribumi.
Alright, most Asian market open mixed today. The FMKSI Malaysian opened slightly low at 1582.83, down 7.92 points or 0.5%. The GCI Indonesia opened slightly higher at 7797, up 103 points or 1.34%. The SS Singapore opened flat at 4346. The Philippines opened slightly higher at 6126, up 6 points or 0.09%. The Vietnam opened slightly lower at 1612, down 31 points or 1.9%. As we can see, Asian market traded flat today after record US stocks with mixed performance across the region. We can see Japan's Nikkei and Korea Kospi advance on strong gains in tech names like SoftBank, CSMC and SK Hynix, while Hong Kong and Australia slipped, keeping the MSCI Asia Pacific Index a little change. For Asian market, sentiment remained balanced between opportunity and caution. As we can see, in Malaysia is now in focus on its industrial production data, and while Singapore and Indonesia stand to benefit from improved global chip demand given their linkage to electronics and semiconductor supply chain. At the same time, US inflation data will be critical and crucial, with producer prices showing the first decline in 4 months. Investors are now weighing out whether the Fed could move move by 25 or even 50 basis points next week. A dovish Fed would support Asian currencies and attract equity inflows, but we can see uncertainty around tariff and China demand still clouds the outlook. In short, Asian investors should brace for short-term volatility, but the broader backdrop of softer US inflation and potential Fed easing provide a cushion for regional market.
Thank you for that, Shakil. Up next in our ASEAN Brief segment, we're diving into AI and the ASEAN future. Our guests will be joining us in the studio shortly to share expert insights on this important topic. Stay with us.
Saya Nadinuddin akan membawa anda untuk menyaksikan hashtag di sebalik tabir Hari Kebangsaan 2025.
Glosari ASEAN.
Welcome back to Biz ASEAN. Our topic today is one that's shaping conversations across the region and around the world, AI and the ASEAN future. Joining me now is Professor David Asirvatham, a professor of practice in AI and technology at the Asia School of Business. Professor David, it's a pleasure to have you here on the show with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Now, let's start the interview with a simple question. AI is a term that we hear all the time. However, to those watching at home, perhaps it still sounds like a bit of a jargon term. Could you perhaps explain to us what exactly is AI?
Yeah. AI is a technology that's able to do what human intelligence can do. So whatever human intelligence can do, if this technology can do that, then we term it as artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence basically uses various models, like AI models, which uses neural network or machine learning, and they basically learn. They can comprehend, they can make decisions, etc. So just behaving similar to human.
Right. Okay, so it kind of sounds like the robots that we see in movies and such, right? And people sometimes imagine AI as being robots, and sometimes they look at it in a bit of a negative light. They imagine maybe it's robots taking over our jobs. Is this truly the case?
Well, I think the movie industry has made created a fear that the robots become intelligent and take over humans. At this very moment, AI is just a simple a system, a technology that helps mankind. So today, what AI can do, basically they can do a lot of the tasks that we human do. It can automate a lot of the white collar jobs, such as, for example, you want to take an Excel sheet. and you want to analyze it using, okay, those days you will need to have the understand how to use Excel, you need to use the formulas and so on. Today you don't have to do that. You just upload this document into, let's say, a ChatGPT or Gemini, and you just type the prompt that I want to do this analysis, and it is done in seconds. So you see the way it has changed, all right? Okay, what we used to do, learn a particular technology, let's say spreadsheet or how to edit a photo, but today anyone can do it with a prompt. So that's the best part of the AI.
Amazing stuff. So what you're saying is essentially whether I'm a fisherman in Malaysia, a housewife in Thailand, or a student in Singapore, wherever in ASEAN I am, no matter what profession I'm doing, AI is something that can already start making my life easier.
Definitely. I think you can now, at the moment, for example, I think a lot of us use ChatGPT or Gemini, etc. And we use it just for chat. But we can use that for some serious work. As for example, if you, for marketing purpose, you want to prepare a brochure or you want to prepare a video, a short video, you can just type the prompt into the ChatGPT or Gemini, and it will create the video. And you can fine-tune the prompt to ensure that it creates the content that you want. If you have an article, for example, and you want, it's 10 pages, and you don't have time to read, right? And you want a summary, you put this article into the Gen AI system, right? And it will automatically summarize the entire article for you to a very high level of accuracy.
Amazing stuff. And how has AI, I mean, it's been around, I mean, right now I know it's in the forefront of a lot of discussions, but it has been around, evolving quietly in the background. How has it been playing in our lives without us even knowing it?
Yes, AI has been around since 1950s.
Wow,
okay.
1950s.
When I was studying in the UK, I did a neural network in 1990. Okay, so I did an AI model then. So today, because of the power of computing power, memory, and so on, so it has become a more advanced machine. Talking about on daily use, for example, if we all use Waze, or Google Map. Actually at the back end, they use AI models to predict the best path for you. So they collect all the information from all your phones, and they analyze using AI, and then it optimizes and produces the best path for you. So that's how Google Map works. Similarly, Waze and the Grab, how do you get the correct driver for you? The Grab driver. Again, AI is used to analyze those things and produce them. Right.
Gosh,
so you're already using it. Another good example is your watch.
The smartwatches?
The smartwatches,
okay.
Right? It collects your heart rate, it collects your sleep patterns, the type of exercises you do, and so on. They're all analyzed, and it can give you insights about your health and well-being.
That's right.
And you can give, from the feedback, you can try to improve yourself in terms of the health. Yeah.
You know, Professor, I've always known that, I mean, like you said, I use Waze myself, but I never thought it implemented AI. I just thought it was just collecting data, and it was just based on, well, data-driven decisions. But I guess nowadays, with the implementation of AI, or rather, you've used that data to implement AI or to make AI smarter. Amazing stuff. Now, in ASEAN, let's bring our focus back to ASEAN in general. Now, ASEAN is, of course, made up of different countries, some highly digital, while others are still sort of catching up, still developing, one would say. What unique opportunities and challenges do you see for ASEAN as a region when it comes to adopting AI?
I think for ASEAN, it's a great opportunity. I think it's an opportunity for us to leapfrog in this area. Because if you look at the US and Europe, they have a lot of legacy systems. But here we have not implemented some of these systems. So it's an opportunity for us to leapfrog, and by using AI. And one of the things for ASEAN is that I think for ASEAN, we should develop a common framework, a governance framework for ASEAN. And we should share our knowledge, or even to build a new AI model for ASEAN. Just like you have OpenAI building ChatGPT,
right,
and Google building Gemini. Maybe for ASEAN countries can get the resource, pool the resources together and develop a model for ASEAN that will show that it will reflect our culture and using our data. So it's more suitable for ASEAN.
I like that you brought that up because recently there's been lots of summits going on in our country due to being the chairman of ASEAN, and I did attend a few of them, and AI was a hot topic in a lot of them. My question to you is, governments across ASEAN have already started talking about AI strategies and policies, like you just mentioned. In your view, what role should governments play in making sure that AI benefits everyone?
Okay, to ensure that the AI benefits the Rakyat, it's important to, number one, have to have a proper framework for the country. If you want to consider the whole of ASEAN, we can also have a common framework. That's number one. The second thing is that we need to start using AI in all areas. In healthcare, in education, in transport, we have to start using AI. How can we use AI? Basically, we need to, first of all, we need to train, upskill, some of these, the employees as well as the leaders. First, we have to start with the leaders. The leaders need to be trained, in terms of the AI skills. They need to acquire AI skills, not to the extent of technical things, know enough so that you can manage. Then we also, the next layer we have to train. And once they are trained, then we can also, deploy AI solutions to this organization. And today, AI is very advanced in medical, in the financial industry. There are a lot of people developing various types of AI solutions for these industries.
That's right. And since you mentioned industries, just let's shift our focus a little bit to a bit more the micro side of things. We spoke about governments. What about small businesses in our region? How can they use AI to boost productivity and reach new heights?
Yeah, I think for SMEs, or small companies, in fact, it is even more important for them because for them, they need to look at optimizing operation and be cost effective.
Right.
And to do that, today, AI can help in many areas in their business. For example, all the administrative tasks. Where they can apply AI. As I mentioned, for example, you want to do data analytics. You don't have to hire a data scientist to do that. You can actually do it yourself using the Gen AI models. You put all your data in and you just give a prompt and it will analyze for you. So that's one example. For example, another area is HR. Today, for scanning of CVs and shortlisting candidates, we use AI to scan hundreds of CVs. Then choose. For example, I have tested it. I put in about 20 CVs and gave the criteria. These are the criteria that I want, and I said I want 5 candidates to be shortlisted, and it gave me the 5 candidates shortlisted.
Now, Professor, that sounds brilliant, but my next question would be, I can already see how there can be some issues that can come from that. But before we get into that, let's take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back after this break.
Tempat ini pernah hidup dengan suara. Mengangkat tangan melaungkan harapan. Di sinilah mereka berdiri. Membawa satu suara. Mengubah takdir bangsa. Kini yang tinggal hanya sunyi dan kenangan yang semakin menghilang. Tapi jiwa itu tidak pernah pudar. Dan suara itu tidak pernah mati. Janji setia takkan dilupakan. Merdeka, merdeka gemuruh jiwa dengan ini. Kemerdekaan bukan milik masa lalu, tapi amanah yang kita pegang untuk masa depan. Bersatu hati bangkit bersama. Malaysia gagah selalu.
mereka bersuara demi masa depan. Dan kini, warisan mereka ada di suara kita.
InsyaAllah, dengan izin Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, negara baru itu akan muncul sebagai sebuah negara yang merdeka dan berdaulat. Jalan untuk tertubuhnya negara baru Malaysia itu sudahlah terbentang dengan jelasnya. Inilah yang dikehendaki satu teladan. Kita boleh hidup dengan baik, tidak terkira apa bangsa, apa agama, apa rupa, apa kulit, apa pun kita tak kira, asal kita boleh hidup sama sekali.
Welcome back, folks. This is Biz ASEAN. Of course, you're here with me, Daryl Baptist, and our guest for this day is Professor David. We're here discussing the AI future of ASEAN. Now, earlier on, Professor David, you were telling us about how you were using AI to sift through CVs and resumes, and how it potentially a task that would normally take you hours was done in seconds. Now, my question to that would be, now, I'm quite familiar with this process that you've mentioned, but how do we know that AI is actually selecting the right candidates and not letting go of potential candidates that perhaps we didn't prompt it the right way, for example, and you then lose on valuable candidates?
Yeah. I think the prompt is important. For example, if you want to scan CVs, you need to have a set of criteria, and you must have clear criteria of how you want to select the candidate. That's number one. The other things also definitely the AI is a black box decision maker. This means that there is no transparency. You put in, you get the results. How it is done, it's a bit challenging. So we say that it lacks transparency.
Right.
Although they are in the newer models, they are coming with reasoning models, which is able to provide the reasons or the steps that you take in order to make that particular decision. The other thing is also biasness of data. So, for example, if you take engineering field, there are more men employed in engineering compared to women. So if you do a scanning of CVs, the AI model will tend to favor men than women in engineering.
Right.
So that's the problem with biasness. This is because of lack of data in the training machine. Because when we train the AI model, we must provide sufficient data, and we must ensure that the data is balanced between male and females. So these kind of things need to be taken into account.
I see. Okay, now, that's a lot to take in. Now, with AI moving so fast, I mean, it is progressing rapidly every day. Are there concerns about risks, or you mentioned biasness and misinformation? When we're talking about governments or even ASEAN as a whole, when we prepare to adopt AI, how do we balance innovation with responsibility?
Okay, what is important in terms of the innovation, we need to continue to develop AI. Because AI is a tool that will help us in many, many different areas. Now, compared to all the previous technology like blockchain, cloud computing, and those things, they are not intelligent systems.
Right.
We need to program them. Whereas AI is an intelligent system. This is where it can also innovate. We can also innovate many new processes. For example, you have an organization, and I have tested this. I take the process and I put it into the AI and ask it to reinvent the process or re-engineer the process.
Right.
And it gave me a result.
And was it successful?
Yeah, and it was a good, and I think it's out of 8 out of 10 probably I would give. Right?
Wow.
So it put input all the new technologies that you should be using in the new process. So that's amazing, right? I mean, so these are things that we can innovate. Of course, there are some risk as we have to consider. One of the risks that we will have to look at is de-skilling of the younger generation. If the younger generation uses AI very often and they don't use their cognitive ability,
where we become over-reliant.
Over-reliant on it, and they lose their cognitive ability in terms of creativity, thinking process, and all this. Just like when we use Waze, we actually stop recording, right?
This is very true.
Yeah.
You know, we tend to use Waze now for even the smallest things, going to the mama. You know, like we know the road, but we'll still turn it on for convenience sake. What are the risks besides becoming over-reliant?
Well, the other risk is basically to ensure that the models work fine, you must train with your own data set as well.
Right.
So in the Malaysian context, for example, if we use a data trained on a different, different data set or from different countries, but we also must train we must upgrade or enhance the model by putting in our own data to ensure that it reflects, it reduces the biasness.
Okay. Now, Professor, there's so much more I want to ask you, but we're also running out of time. Before we leave you, though, finally, for our viewers today, if you had to give our viewers one piece of advice about how they can prepare for an AI-driven future, what would it be?
I think it is simply just we keep on learning about AI. You need to upgrade your skills on AI, and that's the only advice that I can give, because this technology is changing very fast. Every 6 months, there's new things coming up. So you have to acquire AI skills constantly and continuously.
So acquire AI skills continuously.
Yep.
And we've got time for one more question. Looking ahead, I want to know from your opinion, say for the next 5 to 10 years down the road, how do you see AI shaping the future of the average Malaysian's life or the average ASEAN's life?
I think in the next 3 to 5 years, we will see a lot of AI agents coming in, and they will sort of automate a lot of the tasks that we are doing today. It's expected that 20 to 40% of the tasks that we do today will be automated over the next 3 to 5 years. This means that what is the impact on an individual? Things like let's say in the office you are doing certain things that let's say a job has got a few tasks, 10 tasks, maybe 3 or 4 tasks will be taken by AI, and you only do the 6 remaining tasks. So slowly, it is going to take over all your tasks. So what humans we should be doing, we should go into more the higher level of thinking, like creativity, innovation. So we need to create a more, what we call a more higher level cognitive ability jobs. We should be doing that. So that's important, for every individual. So we need to upskill ourselves, continue to use our cognitive ability to do a higher level task.
Okay. And what would be the fastest way or easiest way for us to upskill in terms of learning about AI?
Yeah, many people think that AI is something very difficult to learn. Yes, if you're developing model, if you're a scientist, yes, it's a complex model. But to use AI is very simple, all right? And you can learn that in a few hours how to use AI. So there are plenty of online courses available for free. You just have to go in and just go through the materials, get some fundamental knowledge on AI, start using ChatGPT, Gemini, all this, start prompting, start putting in your some of your tasks and see what you get. And slowly you'll become good in this technology.
Thank you so much for your time today, Professor David. Well, there you have it, guys. It is that simple, all right? Just get on your phones, start using ChatGPT, get yourself familiar with AI, all right? That brings us to the close of today's episodes, folks. I leave you with this. AI is reshaping how we live, how we work, and how we build our future. It's not a passing trend, and it's clearly here to stay. So instead of fearing it, perhaps it's time we embrace it and learn how to thrive with it. Join us again next Thursday as we continue to explore ideas and innovations shaping ASEAN. My name is Darryl Baptist. See you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.